checking what I have in these ones, because I have different sets of markers and I don't have them all out. My favorite color, red. Definitely red. And I have a tendency of going with reds and blues. Very terrible. I end up doing lots of reds and blues. And then I'll go with orange and yellow. And yeah. So I'm fighting going... see, my natural instinct is to get complementary reds and blues and to go with it. And then I can sometimes bring in like a green or depending on it, like I said, the reds and oranges. Some of them I like to do where it looks like the flames, where you get the as you build up, you can get almost the white blue, but you start off with like the yellows and stuff and reds, but I get talking about it and I will go on and on. But I also really like bold colors. And my daughter says that I like colors that contrast with each other so much that they're too much. But I'm okay with that. You know, you gotta just enjoy your colors. So, I'm thinking this color. And I'm going to go into some contrast. I'm trying to keep this like the blues. And maybe some other light colors, just to keep it consistent, though I'm thinking of bolder colors right in the center, like bringing it up. But this one I kind of feel like it's water and wind, and then, you know, as you go through, but different people see different things in them. I also tend to go with a lot of, no, I'm red, green, blue, yellow, orange. What's your favorite color? Do you have a tendency to go with certain colors? Pink and purple. Nice. And you can actually do a lot with them. You know, there's so many different shades. Are they similar shades? Like, do you like the paler ones, or the more pastels, or do you like the really vibrant ones, or you just like pink and purple and it's all of them? Yeah. See, I love the reds and I tend to go for the vibrant, but I'm really picky at the same time. So, well, I like I like the reds and the blues. I like the combination of them. So it has to be the right red with the right blue. And I think pastels are really nice, but I find that when I try to color with them, I'll start off with a nice light color palette, and I just keep going back to the vibrant, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. So I have to sometimes consciously just say these colors, and these are the only ones I'm going to use. Because I'll pick them every single time. Like, I'm literally doing this when I'm having to say, like, no red. So is there a specific type that you like to color while you bring in all the pastels? Probably nice soft. Soft is good sometimes. I think the hardest part sometimes is that I want to bring in all those colors I was just talking about. I want to bring in the browns and the reds in here, and then, you know, but I started off with a golden line on this one, and I find I'm fighting to deviate, not to deviate from it. Oh. I'm going to bring in a little bit of purple, though. I'm moving the glitter pins out of my reach for a moment. I will go into them again. Lavender. Rose pink, yeah. Do you like bringing in like sounds odd, but a soft gold with them, or do you prefer to keep it just the more pastel colors? Because silver wouldn't work with that, but a gold. And I have to say, lavender and light rose gold, you can probably do a really pretty blend with them. Or as my daughter likes to say, a fade or a combination. I really like contrast, though, like the lights and the darks, but I do have a tendency to go really dark sometimes. Yeah, so that makes sense to bring the gold in. And that makes it easier to combine things like the pastels and the vibrant. But there's nothing wrong with having pastel and vibrant, like the contrast, the soft. And you can often get some beautiful highlights and things just by using the two different styles, or types, I guess. I don't know. I'm just always impressed with what people can do. I love it when I see other people, like, one of my favorite things is seeing what other people do with my books. And I have actually looked at stuff sometimes and said, wow, that's absolutely stunning and beautiful. And then realized it was something that someone had made from one of the books. And I actually didn't recognize it because the person had done so, when they did it, they made it, like, it took me a while to realize that they had actually worked on one of my books. And that what I was looking at was actually their stunning. Like, it I just find it amazing what people are able to do with the shading and the blending, and it's so pretty. And I end up, I love seeing it. I mean, I love seeing the coloring with other people's work too, but I have, my favorite thing is to see what people have done with them. If that makes any sense. Do you have any preferred pens or anything like that? I know you said gel pens, but I'm almost tempted to bring in a silver into this. I tried to, but it was too dark. I can see it now. At the end of the night, I'm going to have to do something with red and orange and yellow. It's funny how talking to you it influences what I'm coloring, because I ended up going with a lighter, like it looks darker, but it's fading into a light purple, almost. But it works, so I'm just trying to decide how much of it to do in that color, and then bring in the blues. Bold colors and background, soft colors pop. Yeah. So I mean with contrast, I love seeing that type of stuff where you're able to take the colors. I guess it's called color theory, and I never really looked into it too much until I started doing this, but I think we just do it naturally. But I just love seeing how you put different colors together and they totally change how they look. There we go. No. I find coloring relaxing. So I'm bringing in the purples. I get caught up in the coloring sometimes. Okay, all the time. Just relax. So I think I'm going to bring the purple down to about there. And then, let's see. Can anyone think of a couple colors? I like the palette that I have, but again, just going to bring some colors in here. There we go. I think I'm going to need to use light blue. Thank you. So I know some of you find this one really intricate. Would you guys like to see one of my incredibly crazy hard ones? Just to see why I laugh every time I say, yeah, I like drawing them really. I draw crazy ones, some of them. And my first books that I came out with, because I'd been so used to doing illuminations, and the idea was you fit as much as you could in the page. So my images were always really compact, I guess would be the right word for it. So when I started doing the coloring books, I just brought that in. And I have some that are so, like, I literally had to buy 0.3 markers. Like 0.3 millimeters. And even those, I don't think I can do them. So they're just crazy hard. And they make me laugh whenever I think about it. Give me a sec and I will pull one out for you. Just let that dry for a second. So this is the first book I ever did. And when I say they are tiny, like I actually made them bigger. So this is a blown up one of this one. So, like, they're tiny. Like, I can bring it up and you can, just so you can kind of see it. It's teeny tiny. And, yeah, this one's even more. So, like, they are so small. It's almost, you know, so some of them are super difficult. So, of course, I did enlargement. So when you were saying that you found them, they were too difficult, I was thinking about these ones, because this is the type of stuff that I started off drawing. And it's, you know, I had to, I wasn't joking when I said I had to remember to leave space for people to actually color. So my first 3 books were all like that. And so I've learned to make them bigger. So, you know, I find them beautiful. They're, you know, the images are beautiful, but what when I talk about finding that I find myself coloring the simpler ones is because these are the ones that I look at as being, you know, I mean, they're really cute. But if you weren't into really intricate ones, these would be massively overwhelming. And then, so when I come to these ones, I see them as being easier, you know. And then I go to my super easy ones, and they're just absolutely just for relaxing. So there's a huge difference, you know. But and I know some people still find these ones too intricate, but you know, people find what they like and they color what they like, and that's the joy of coloring and doodling and drawing and all that fun stuff. Now, could you ever see yourself do one of those really crazy ones for my first books? It's because I did an illumination, which is you had to draw a whole bunch of details in a teeny tiny spot. Like, that would be where you'd fill in an entire image or something. And so I did that for years and I loved it, but, you know, it's, it's a skill, I guess, or not everyone's drawn for stuff like that. But thank you. Sorry, I just get excited when I talk about drawing and stuff like that. I love seeing what other people create as well. I keep checking out other people's pages. Actually, some people do that. I have some people who I do really thick ones, and then I put designs inside and they just color the thick section. And so they still see the intricate details, but it all pulls in. Like, they'll pull in, like how I did all this in different colors, they might do this whole section here in the same color. And it works. I know. I've seen it with other people's stuff as well, where they'll have like lots of little tiny details and people will just do the section. And it ties in and it looks really nice. I don't think there's a wrong way of coloring things, though. I mean, I've seen some things where I've gone, oh, those colors really don't work well. and it's usually something I've done. But I just don't, you know, other than that, you know, bit of an exception, I don't really think you can color things wrong. And now, of course, I'm looking at it going, what color do I do next? I think I'm going to pull in my darker purple. one is it? Sorry, I'm start talking to myself again. That's the one. My concern is I'm going to make this one way too dark. The colors, so I'm going to have to bring in some lighter blues, I think. Now the good thing is they lighten down, but certainly we all need to manual. I mean, wheel can be, yeah. And this is why you'll see me doing all the, I'll take a sheet and do this, because I know if left to my own devices and I wasn't checking stuff, I come out with some really interesting coloring combinations. Because it, you know, you look at it and you go, oh, that looks really good. And then you stick them side by each and it's like, oh, let's not do that again. And I do that a little more often than I like to admit. So my daughter's always like, here, Mom, here's a color palette. Use these. I mean, she's not wrong. She picks up beautiful color palettes, but it always makes me laugh. And lighten down a little bit. So I think my screen is frozen. Just give me a second. I'll pop back. There we go. We just have to all remember, glitter fixes everything. If we make a mistake, cover it with glitter. Oh, I'm so trying to figure out what color to bring in. Yep. Technology can't live with it. Yeah, true. Also, because this is like my first live, I am not really too sure what things to look out for. So the whole screen could freeze for a bit and I probably wouldn't notice because I'm still coloring. Yeah. Like, I don't know how long I was actually dead for on the, like when my phone actually died. Because I was coloring. what was it that I think it was Bob Ross used to always say, there's no accidents, just happy coincidences. I think that's how he said it. See, and I'm drawing in, and as I go in, I keep wanting to do this in reds. So I have my blues and reds together. Put this one here. Let's try bringing in a lighter blue. Yes, I enjoy watching, yes, I won't age myself, but yes, I know. I used to watch Bob Ross. And even my kids know who Bob Ross is, which I find really interesting, that without people going to them and saying, hey, you got to check this out and watch this and stuff, people just kind of love Bob Ross so much that they shared his stuff, and it's cross-generational now. And it's relaxing to watch him. I don't think I'll ever paint like him, but it sure inspired a lot of people. Happy accidents. A happy mistake, yeah. Well, I remember somebody did took a bunch of the pictures that he did, and they kind of did a video of them, and they were saying that everyone thought he was drawing the same thing, and if you take a look at it, no, they were able to make it from they put all the pictures together, and it did a film of you traveling down a lake or a little stream. And so it was like he was painting the same area, but he was moving down the stream a little bit each time. It was kind of neat. I don't know if that's, true, but the way they put it together made it look amazing. And you kind of went, oh, wow. He also took away the fear of mistakes. It was like, you put a little too much white there, it's a sunnier spot. Too much dark, lighten it up. Oh, I do like the fact that it's considered okay to color now. It's okay to color even though you're a grown-up. Yeah, he was calm. I mean, that's what a lot of people say, is that they started watching him not for the painting, but because he's relaxing. Like today, like my kids, they say that the reason why people watch Bob Ross, even in their generation, is because he was so calm and relaxing that, and accepting, that they just can't help but, you know, become addicted to him like the rest of us. Now, I haven't watched Bob Ross in a while, but apparently you can just go on YouTube and watch them. They've all been uploaded, and that's kind of cool. Yeah, it helps, and people who have anxiety too. That's why he became really popular at one point with my daughter's like my kids' generations, is because he's so calming that they end up just relaxing with him. It's cool that they have that. You know, that they can, I don't know, same way as there's some people out there, like Mr. Rogers. You know, even it or what is it? Oh, who was it? Elmo. Elmo apparently is one of those ones that people just really enjoy. So those two blues look so much alike, but they're not. Let's see. If you want to get some. Yeah. But did you see that one where apparently Elmo posted out, "How's everybody?" and people literally just filled up the thing with it? I think it was Twitter or something. And yeah, because people connect. And the infectious laugh, of course. No. I mean, coloring and drawing helps me de-stress, so I'm thinking maybe next time I do a live, I might draw. I've got a couple coloring books I'm working on, so we will see. So far, this has been fun. I hope everyone else is having fun and relaxing. Hold on, I did see that someone celebrated guy attacked Elmo. Oh, yes, and people were not happy about that. I didn't see it myself, but I heard about it. He did some sort of skit or something where he beat up Elmo, and people are not happy. You know, it's first, you know, yeah, no. But Elmo apparently tweeted, "How is everybody?" and people just millions around the world answered him. I know he's a character, but, you know, millions of people around the world literally responded to that tweet. And that's, you know, the same way as, you know, so many people are drawn to Bob Ross, and there's just certain things. My relaxation is coloring and drawing. But for some people, it's watching, or, you know, I don't know. I think with everything that's going on in the world, anything that brings happiness and relaxation to people is pretty much good. Well, let's see how that feeds in. It should come down a nice blue. Yeah. He is more than a puppet to the kids. And to a lot of people who grew up watching, you know. It's, I don't know, it's like, who is it? It's, Kermit the Frog is still out there, you know, entertaining people. How many years later after the Muppets? And I don't think it matters that they're a puppet. They're people just connect to them. So I'm going to try adding some sparkles. So, mainly because I can't resist. I hid the gel pens and one was still out, and I was like, oh, I have to use it now. Oh dear. It's like a little addiction. Sparkles. No. I keep thinking I need music on, though, because I usually color with music. But I don't know how relaxing people would find my music. I wish the glitter was showing up a little bit better. No, I hope you're having a good night. Yeah, it's just, thank you. I'm enjoying chatting with you as well. It's a little weird for me where I'm not actually talking to you per se, as in, you know, I'm reading it, but, you know, that's just because it's not something I'm used to yet. I will, as I get used to doing these, but, It's not as hard as you'd think, though. I want to put this purple in, but I want to do something lighter. Yeah, I usually have a lot of, like, I usually listen to music, but I usually listen to stuff that's loud. And most people don't find it relaxing. So, well, it's usually because when I'm drawing and stuff like that, it gives me energy while I'm drawing. And I just get absorbed into the music and the drawing and kind of forget about everything else. So, you know, at the very end, I'm probably going to stick red on this just because I keep I'm like, it needs red. No. So I'm very proud of myself today. I managed to do a whole page in colors that are not my normal palette. And even though I started drifting towards that palette, I was able to bring myself back in and keep it a nice, I think the colors came out beautiful. So I figure I'm going to keep trying different palettes and see what I can come up with. And I say this because right beside me is an entire box of vibrant markers that my daughter bought me that I've held off not using tonight, just because I know the second I open that box, that's the only ones I'm using. I might have to pull in some silver or something. Thank you. About the colors, yeah. I did one earlier today, though, the other one that I did, where I'm super proud of, is because of the colors I was able to keep it in, and I'm just trying to see if I can find it, because it's not my usual color palette at all, and I really, really, really like it. So, I don't know if that, there you go. So it's all kind of soft, and I'm trying to show it. I'm probably, it's too high up, so. But I think it came out really nice, and it's not my usual colors. I usually go, well, I had to pull myself back in because I was starting to go a couple of colors, and I was like, no, gotta stop. But, and this one here, I was thinking, even though I know there's other colors in the palette, I was thinking more like, when I started it, I was thinking of that movie, what is it called again? The one where the song is where it's like, let it snow and the cold never bothered me anyway. I'm trying to think about it. She was the princess who had the ice magic. Oh. Sorry, did you get a chance to see, did you see the book the one that I colored that I was showing you? Sorry, Elsa from Frozen, yes. So when I started this, that's what I was thinking about, was Elsa. The snowflakes and stuff. So I was thinking light blues and silvers and a little bit of pinks, like the light pinks. But I ended up starting drifting towards the dark ones again. So I'm just trying to... Looking at it, just so I'm getting this urge to color that little section in this purple color. I think I'm gonna do it because I keep thinking about doing it, so I'm just gonna do it. I don't have markers. Being stubborn. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I hope they keep it. I hope they keep the flavor and they don't try to, you know how sometimes when they start doing sequels to stuff, it's never as good as the original. So I'm really hoping they can keep it. There's too many people who love it. I think they'd be really upset if they didn't follow the, you know. Keep Olaf alive, yeah. So Olaf is always getting into trouble. Olaf and I think it was Stefan the reindeer. Stefan the reindeer. Too funny. But the whole time I'm doing this, I'm thinking about what this entire thing would look like in oranges and reds. Oh dear. Orange, red, and yellow. Oh, my kids love the Elsa and Anna. It's hard to believe it was, what, 10 years ago? I think that they said. More of a story they can make, yeah. True. It's not like they can bring people back. So where do they go from there? So I keep feeling I need like a super, super light blue, but the only blue I'm looking at is not a blue I want to use. And even though I did a silver there, I'm thinking about adding it to a blue. You know what? That's the answer. Let's find an excuse to use my gel pens. Let's find a super light blue. So I think I'm going to use this blue. Oh, I think that's coming a little darker than I planned. I mean, it looks super light on the page, but as soon as I bring it in, oh, okay, there we go. I don't think that's going to work. Glitters. Oh, it's kind of silvery. Yeah. Pulling out the gel pens. But I'm trying to figure out if that one or this one would look better. The good thing about the gel pen is I can always put a different gel pen over it. I think this one's a better gel pen for it. Yeah. Brings it in lighter. The other ones will be a little, that one's going to be a little darker, but this is the right color. But my one friend, she would go over these ones with silver just to, the glitter pen or gel pens. I think that's the right color. One thing I have to remember is I was just doing, because I was doing markers, this does not absorb in and get hidden by the blacks. It goes over top, so I have to be a little tidier. Yeah, best thing to do. What mistake? That's that Bob Ross coming back out. So just going with the blues. Actually, it hasn't. Blues are not. First, just. I'm gonna have to turn my book. That's it. I'm gritting it. I'm moving the book. Sorry. The gel pens, I have to be more careful because they go over the black. I mean, I can go over it again after with black, but This will make a nice highlight too. Sorry, I keep pausing to check to see if you're saying anything, because if I don't, I'll get sucked into the coloring and forget. Some of it. I was trying to be so careful that I ended up leaving white sections. That's easily fixed. I always get ink on my hands too, so when a lot of times I'll be coloring, I'll be like this. And then but you can't see that on the video very well, so it doesn't quite work. So just letting it, there we go. True. Well, one of the things I used to do is I used to color at work, and so I always had to be careful. So I'd color and draw at work, and when we weren't busy, and so I was always doing like a teeny spot and then moving on, teeny spot and then moving on. But so the ink would, but then I'd worry that I was going to smear it all across, so. I'm trying to figure out what color to do that one section. And I don't want to go dark there, because this whole thing's been really dark, but I'm thinking I might lighten it up in the middle. I mean, I like it. But I think I'm going to lighten it up in the middle. I'm also not liking this one as much, so I'm going to go over it with this pen. And let's see. Nope, gotta leave it. Trying to think of what color to put in there. That would be complementary. I'm almost thinking of pink, like a very pale pink. Sorry, I seem to froze again. Do you find it harder doing the coloring books left-handed? Well, I mean, you wouldn't have it. That was kind of dumb to say because you wouldn't have been trying to color it any other way. But I mean, do you find that because so many things are designed for right-handed people that it's difficult to do certain things? That brighter pink. Yeah. No, that's not the right color. Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid of using that. It might work. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Scissors and things like can openers and stuff, because they're all designed to be turned, held one way. What do you think of that? A little bit of... See, I'm just worried it's going from kind of a cool color to warms. But I like this color. I could never be one of those people doing the, the people who teach the color theory? Because I'm always like, I like it, I'm using it. Oh good, it's fading, it's going in. I think it's working. I needed something, but I was... Yeah. Now it was starting to... I didn't want to say anything, but I was starting to feel it was getting a little dull. Washed out with the colors I was using because it didn't have anything popping. I used some glitter, but the glitter, like in better light, the glitter will pop and it will have some nice highlights. But even though I've got the ring light on this, it's not popping. But I think this will bring it up. Who was left-handed, and I'm the only one who did. Yeah. Well, left-handed is not that common. And I mean, I don't actually know anybody that I deal with on a daily basis that's left-handed. Like, like none of my coworkers and stuff, so it's yeah. Now watch, I'm just gonna... This is my compromise to my need for red. It's kind of a red. The worst part about when I'm coloring is I can actually see other colors working with it, and I then want to color the same page again with different colors. Now I'm going to have to start turning the page. Well, that's silly going to hell. Well, they used to believe that. I mean, back in the day, like in medieval times and stuff like that. But it's just silly. It'd be odd. It's odd that some people would still, well, you know, there are people out there who I won't say the words I'm thinking. You know. I just think it makes it a little difficult for, you know, things that are all designed for right-handed, and then you have to try and use, you know, accommodate them for the left hand. But, I mean, a coffee mug is a coffee mug no matter which way you're drinking out of it. You know, whether you're using your right or your left hand. If that makes any sense. Oh, so you're more ambidextrous than just left-handed? See, I'm dominantly right-handed. Okay, so I know where I'm going to bring this one in. So this is where this is going to tie in. No, just left-handed. It means it shouldn't matter which hand I use. Doesn't mean we're... Oh, yes. But there's some silly people out there who think anything that doesn't match exactly what they think or do or shaped or what you eat, what you drink, how you think, how you look, which hand you use to brush your teeth with, determine where you're going to end up, and that's just silly. You know, but those are also the same people who believe that, you know, it justifies how they treat people, because it's not how they treat people that's going to make a difference. It's going to be, you know, that they fit in with all their other criteria. Just silly. The sad part is there's some people out there who actually really think that way. Mm. By any chance, is your hero one of your, what's his name, on The Simpsons, the guy who has the left-handed store? The neighbor. Ned, that's his name. Ned Flanders. Oh, today has been very relaxing. I do know that when I'm done this one will be the last one for me today, because it's getting late. Last picture for me. I don't know what time's on your end, so it's going to take me a while to get this one done, though. No, I think it was Ned Flanders, the neighbor, because Mose was the barkeep, and he wasn't left-handed. It was the neighbor, because he actually ran a store in the mall for left-handed people, and I think one point he was going to sell everything and close the business. And I remember Homer was trying to use all the left-handed stuff because it was going to be really cheap. Not that I watched a lot of Simpsons, but I remember that one because it was funny. So Eastern Standard Time, like, so it's like, I think we're in the same time zone. Like Toronto time zone. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm coloring over my hand's in the way. I have to figure out the best way to set up the camera so people can see the coloring. Yeah, we're in the same time zone then. So. So I just get caught up in my coloring. Sometimes I lose track of time. Coloring, drawing. But like today's my Friday because so I didn't mind staying up late, but I don't. I was just kind of like, oh, it's, you know, later than I thought. Oh no, don't tell me this gel pen is not going to work and I'm like partway through. I hate it when that happens. Oh, there we go. When they stop working suddenly. Oh, happy Friday. Yeah, or I should say it's now my, yeah. It's now my Saturday. Because it's after midnight. Oh. But I get to stay up late and color and do all sorts of stuff because it's my weekend. You are correct. They're like, yeah, you're going to have to stop soon. It's just I know if I stop, it's, you know how when you stop coloring a page and then it's hard to get back into coloring the page sometimes? Just because it's like, oh, what color did I use? And like when you have all your pens out, it's really easy. But when you stop coloring, you pack everything up and then you go to unpack it and it's like, what did I use? You know, I'm always, I don't know. And then I always have a hard time, you know, being in the same sort of color palette sort of thing once you stop. So I usually try to finish them. I don't always get, you know, but always try to finish them off. But some of my more intricate ones I can't. They take days. And those ones I just leave out with the pens. And I keep the pens that I'm using with them. And that way when I start up again, I just start up. So I'm not so sure I like the coverage of this gel pen. It feels blotchy. No, I haven't yet. I just recently got into gel pens. Honestly, what happened was last Christmas, my daughter asked me what I wanted for Christmas because I'm notoriously terrible to buy for. So she knew that one of the people I worked with had bought in gel pens. And I'd used some of them at work. So and I really liked them, so she bought me some gel pens off of Amazon. And so that's pretty much the only ones I've used. And then I just got this set for Christmas. So, and this is the first time I've broken it out. But, so I haven't really explored a lot of the different markers and stuff like that. Honestly, a price point is a huge thing for me too. Yeah, well, like, she bought me a set, like, it's like 100 and something of them. So there's all sorts of colors and shades and glitters, and it was awesome. But she's after the really expensive markers. They go on sale every once in a while. They start with the O. Everybody loves them. You see people using them all the time. She really wants those. So she was hinting for her birthday for that. I want these ones. I was like, no. But we'll probably end up getting them next year for her if she still wants them. See, I'm at a loss of what color to do next. I was thinking about doing this color, because that will tie it into this. But alcohol markers, yeah, that's what she's wanting, is a set of the alcohol, the UHA or YOHA. Oh. They're like a little package of them is like $50. And she was like, I've been looking at them myself, but right now I'm just doing it with what we have. But yeah, they're apparently amazing. Should I bring in that blue again? So how do you find them? Like to work with the alcohol markers. Oh yeah, ooh, those ones. And they've got some beautiful colors. Amazing sets, like the pastel ones that are out there. They have some that are just like, wow. I love all these different sets that you look at. And they have all these wonderful color palettes. But I'm always thinking to myself that I'd hate to mix them all up into a big bundle, because then I'd have all these color palettes that don't quite work with each other. And I'd be trying to do it. Now I'm stuck. Trying to figure out what color to do. Azure, yeah. Oh, they smell very strong on the alcohol. And I noticed that when people use them, they tend to bleed out a lot. So you have to learn to color away. Like you have to have lots of lines, like a lot of space to color. And you have to leave space between where you're actually coloring and where the line is, because it absorbs over. So that was the biggest thing I noticed. So with the different alcohol markers, so I think it's just a matter of skill. Taking the plunge. But yeah, it'd be a learning thing for me. I just did one with, like, I used some of the markers my daughter got me this year, and it was funny, we both got each other markers. My oldest daughter, and she got me the ones that are kind of like the paint ones, like paint brushes. And I tried using them earlier on today, and it was a mess. Like I did the page, and I was kind of like, oh, this is not even close to how I usually color. It's going to be a learning curve on that one. I mean, once I started thinking of them as little paint brushes, it was a little easier, because you know. I'm going to need to figure out how to do angle the phone so that it captures the actual coloring, not my hand. From our tip. Yeah, that's what I was finding a problem was is I didn't feel like I had a lot of control. The tip was and it was really the only way I could describe it was it was really wet, the marker, in that as you would put it on, there was a lot of moisture coming off of the tip. And so it would, you had to figure out how to, how much to put on, because it was, like, it literally was going through to the other side and marking up my little sheet that I have in between the pages, right? And it got marked up quite a bit. Now, here you don't really see that, but all that's from when I was using that other marker. Those other ones just bled. I don't know. I think different markers, different skills. I always laugh because I'm like, I'll take Crayola. It's just I just want to make sure I have markers I can use. The truth is whether I have markers or pencil crayons or, something. Heck, I'll even use crayons. It's the relaxing that matters. You break them. Yeah. I kind of look at it in terms of if I can color or paint or draw, then I've got an outlet for things. And I'm going to do that no matter what. And I'll just use what I have. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say no to, having my favorite markers or my favorite pencil crayons or something. But, there are times when just being able to do stuff is more important. than what I'm actually doing it with. Now, I'm not saying it's going to look good if I'm using crayons, but it's not always the point. Let's get that purple in. Very light purple. Yeah, I can tell I'm starting to get tired. I look at it a little differently because I had my hand injured at one point and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't color, couldn't draw. I mean, it got to the point at one point where I was having difficulty just signing my name, you know. And for years, I couldn't draw or color or do anything. And you know, for years, I had spent over 10 years doing illuminations and painting and drawing and just, you know, it was what I did with my free time all the time. And I couldn't do it anymore. And it was not fun, you know. I mean, you deal with it, you go on with it, you work with it. So when my daughter introduced me to, hey, Mom, look, on our phones we can draw. And I went, really? And she's like, yeah, draw with your finger. And I did. And I was like, wait a second. You know, it's not the same as drawing like on paper, but I can, you know, if I can use my finger, I can still create something. And then I slowly built it up to the point where I could, it took almost 20 years for my hand to heal. And then I could, using the phone, I was able to draw again. So, yeah. And I went, hey, I can do this again. So, not sure if I like that one right there, but life will go on. Everyone will find happiness in their own way. Well, I am almost done. Not quite too sure what colors I'm going to use to finish this off, but we are getting there. Other than the one little thing, I'm really liking this. And it's just, I don't like the the coverage the one pen gave. It's not as smooth as I like it, but it works. Which one is this one? Yeah, that's the one. Well, it's what built my hand back up to the point where I could draw. So it was a tool, and I have to be careful still. Like, that's why I don't do some of the things I used to do. Like, I wouldn't be able to do the illumination because the intricate work that I was doing before would just strain my hand all to, like, that's the reason why I don't color some of my own intricate coloring pages now, is because my hand can only do it for, I think, like 15 minutes before it says, that's enough. So, which I find really ironic. I love drawing them, but I have a hard time coloring them. But that's also why I started doing ones that are more accessible coloring. Thicker lines, bigger spaces, so it's easier to see. And I thought, oh, I'll do all these bold ones and thick ones. And then I found on TikTok a whole community that does them, so that was kind of cool. I didn't realize they even existed until I, came onto TikTok and found out that a whole bunch of people do similar ones in that they do the thicker lines. That's coming out a lot better than I thought. I'm still struggling with that one right there. I'll get comfortable with it, but it really needed this little, even though it's not quite red, it needed the red. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful night. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to watch or be part of it, but, I'm glad I did it because I got a chance to chit-chat and relax, and I hope you had, the same sort of nice relaxing. Got to have a nice conversation. That's important. Now, of course, I'm just stuck trying to figure out what to do for the last little bit. Trying to figure out the best color. I had thought about using that super light blue, but I don't like the coverage. Oh, thank you. I plan to do them. I mean, they're going to be sporadic until I, kind of get a routine there, but I'll be doing them. I figure I'm just going to do lives of me coloring and drawing because I was going to, I'm doing it anyway, and it gives me, it's relaxing. Though I'm going to have music on the next, I'm going to bring music in. I just have to make sure it's not too loud. So, which I find funny because I like listening to my music with my headset so that I can listen to it loud. I'm half tempted to do the center red. I don't know if it's going to be too much in red. So, yeah. Routine is, I did this one today just to learn. And, I learned a couple of things. And I'm going to definitely enjoy doing more of them. But I also, I kind of have an attitude of I'm doing it for fun. And, and I want to have fun doing it. Relax. So I'm glad that you had fun as well. I'm just I think I'm gonna do a darker blue. Sorry, my brain starts thinking colors and solid blue. No, it's not anywhere else, but would that work? No. I would rather do this one. Oh, yeah, trying to think it out. Oh, yeah. And honestly, I think we all self-critique ourselves on everything we do. But I have a colorist who just amazing. I mean, she just blows me out of the water every time I see something she makes, right? Totally, everything she does is just beautiful. And she'll do one thing and she'll think to her, she's showing it to me and I'm thinking, oh, that's beautiful. And she's saying, oh, but there's a spot here. And I'm like, okay. And she will literally redo the entire page for it. And I get it. You know, she wants them to be perfect. And I'm sitting there going, but it's beautiful the way it is. And I don't think we all see stuff the way other people do. We all, like, I'm looking at this and I keep focusing is on that little spot where it's not blending. You're telling, you know, you've said it's really nice, and I keep looking at it. You know, and same thing, like I look at her work and I'm always like blown away, and she's so self-conscious about it too. I don't know. I think we're all like that. But, you know, do you enjoy coloring it? I mean, do you do it because you enjoy it, or it takes away the stress, or, you know? I guess what I'm saying is, does it make you happy when you color? Because that's what I'm always telling her. I'm saying, do you like it? Did you enjoy coloring it? And as long as the answer is yes, you're good. And I say that laughing at myself because I'm still looking at the little one spot. Trying to take my own advice. But no. There's times when you just do stuff because you enjoy it. Bob Ross all over again. Now I'm trying to figure out, do I want to fill in the center? What do you think? Good, I'm glad it's a stress reliever. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should fill in the center, and I think I like it the way it is. But you've been watching the whole thing. So the spots that I'm having issues with is I really don't like that color, and I'm still trying to figure out how to fix that. And I didn't like the coverage of that one. So, but I bet you tomorrow morning I'm going to look at it and say it's wonderful. So leave that one blank, and I'd say it's done. Yeah, gel pens these days. It looked silver when I was trying to do it, but it's darker. But I'm pretty sure if I hold the light, like when I get it in proper lighting, that's gonna glitter, which is why it's a little darker. But okay, so I think I'm going to be done for the night. It has been a pleasure talking with you. I'm really happy with how this one came out. You know, even though I'm sitting here nitpicking it, I'm actually really happy with it. You know, but it needed that reddish tinge, pinky color. It really did. So I'm going to be ending in a few moments. It was a pleasure talking with you. I just want to make sure I get a chance to say goodbye before I actually end. You know. So I'm just putting away my markers. And hi, Kayla. You joined just as I was starting to end. So thank you for joining. I hope you have a wonderful night. And I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. It was nice meeting you as well. And I hope you rest well too. I'm probably gonna I am probably gonna be going to bed shortly. And I'm probably gonna snore my head off. Happy snores dreaming about coloring or drawing. I hope you have a wonderful night as well. Thank you for joining me, both of you, Kayla as well. And I will spontaneously do this again soon until I get a routine going. So thank you all. And since this is my first stream, I'm not really too sure how to end it. So I'm just going to say good night, everybody, and thank you again. And now I just have to figure out how to get it to stop. How do I stop it? Well, this is hilarious. Now I have to figure. You know, they tell you how to start the live. They don't tell you how to stop it. Night, everybody.